What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Land Sports Show episode. We are back after a little bit of a layoff for our Cleveland Browns 2024 season preview. I'm your host, Kevin Sleds. With me, I have Mr. Derek Dimmitt. How you doing tonight, Derek?
I'm doing pretty good. You?
Doing good. And of course, what would a Cleveland Browns season preview be without the former co-hosts of Brown and Orange Weekly, Mr. Clarence Wilson and James Ellifritz? What's up, guys?
Let's go. Tired of this preseason bullshit.
Yeah. What he said. I'm definitely there too. In fact, I've been there since last damn preseason.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
Pretty
the
much.
preseason at all. I watched the first half Saturday, and that was all I could take. That was enough for me. So we've got two preseason games under the belt. Have not looked particularly good, but starters haven't played, so there's a silver lining there. They're expected to play this week. Saturday's game, we lost, it seems like 10 left tackles to injury. Jermaine Ifedi started. He went out with a hand injury. They finally put James Hudson over on the right side. He starts the second half on the left side, gets injured. Akeem Adenji comes in. He gets injured. So they were down to their fourth-string left tackle by the fourth quarter. And with Adenji, he's going to be out for a while. He hit the IL with a knee injury. Ifedi had a hand injury. He's supposedly going to be okay, be ready to go this Saturday. Hudson's going to miss a little bit of time. And, of course, Jed Wills still out. We don't know what's going on with him. But it's pretty bad when you're wishing Jed Wills was healthy because I, for one, have not been a fan, but he seems to be better than all these other guys. So the question is, I mean, they picked up another guy today, Chim Okorafor. He's a younger guy. Spent a little time in Minnesota last year. Big dude, 6'6". But they have a lot of inexperience there right now. I'm sure they're going to be looking at the waiver wire for, the final cut downs. Do you think they need to go out and maybe make a trade for a swing tackle, not a top of the line starter, but maybe a swing guy? What are your guys' opinions on that? Derek, we'll start with you.
I think it's at that point in the off season or in preseason where you kind of play it by ear. I don't think they need to go out and make a trade yet. We're about a week away from cut day. So there's going to be a guy that's probably better than what we currently have on the roster that will become available. So let's kind of hold off, make it through this Saturday, hopefully as healthy as can be. But yeah, it's not good when you have to go to your fourth string tackle and, he's moved up to first string because of injuries. So, but I haven't watched any of the preseason. Been busy while the games have been on. Have recorded them so I could see, something good happened. Unfortunately, nothing good has happened, so it's been quick deletes on those recordings. But I think making a trade at this point would kind of be a panic move. Let's wait and see how the roster cut downs go, and then if we need to add a tackle or two, scour the waiver wire.
I want to get that on video. So Joey owes us a lap around the field for being late to practice.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Push-ups.
Yes.
So the question is,
and you're muted? That's 2 laps.
Muted, uh-oh. Should Deshaun Watson play Saturday given the left tackle situation?
Who you throwing that to, Kev?
Clarence, what do you think?
He's gotta get some.
Yeah, I agree.
He gotta get some kind of reps. I am the same with Derek. I've watched, I think I watched about 3 plays of preseason. I'm not watching that shit. There's nothing to be learned from watching these guys that are backups or not going to be on the team playing. So I have not watched any of it. I saw somebody talk about James Thrash, and yeah, he's playing against a bunch of guys that ain't going to be on the squad or ain't going to be on the other team either. So of course, if he looks good, that don't matter to me. All that going back to Watson, he's got to get some kind of tick in. He's got to get a few plays, something. I feel like we're in the same spot we were in when we acquired him. We don't know. We still don't know how good he is. We still don't know what he is. We've talked ad nauseum about this new offense and how it's supposed to be special and it's supposed to look so good. And I know they're not going to show a lot, but he's got to get out there. He ain't played since last season. What week was that? 12, 10? What week was that he went out?
I don't have the
It was
schedule
right
in front
around
of
there.
me. I don't know if it was 12,
Yeah.
but I
So
think
he hasn't played since then. So 12, yeah. So at this point, he's got to get out there and get some run. I just don't see a way for them to be able to, I guess, knock off the rust that I'm so sick and tired of hearing about without him getting out there and playing a little bit. But I don't know what the hell they're going to do at this point. There is the left tackle issue, so. But I don't know. Let them get out there and hand the ball off a couple times. Just something.
Can you guys hear me now?
All right.
Yep, we can hear you.
You
Good
can?
comment from Brandon. Said the preseason at this point is a borderline scam for teams who aren't playing their starters. Fans paying full price to watch future truck drivers.
That's right.
hey,
Okay.
there is a truck driver shortage.
I know Brandon a lot and doing ATC with him for a long time. He hates any sort of preseason and anything that has to do with training camp. It's if we are not in the full season, then it's useless. And I agree with everything that everyone said. I mean, there's really nothing else that needs to be said about it.
Well, I agree with Brandon. I can't stand the preseason. I made it through for the first half of Saturday's game, and that was worth it.
You're better than me.
For me, for preseason, I think the most important games have long passed. So the first game back in Canton, 1999, against Dallas, that was a big deal for everybody. For waiting as how long as we did just to see players in the uniforms and the colors that we fought for as fans and as a city, so we could keep an NFL franchise. So yes, that game was important to us. Personally, the first game at the new stadium preseason against the Vikings was important to me and always will be. Typically, I have my brown stuff up, getting ready for the season. I have a picture of the stadium with the fireworks all going off at halftime, and I had my 2 ticket stubs from that game, the first ever game within that new stadium, and I got to spend it with my sister, who later passed about 5 months later from cancer. So that game will always have an importance to me and a special place in my heart. The next important preseason game is when we get that dome stadium in Brook Park. That first one, when we finally break the seal and the stadium still has the new car smell and we get in there and check it out, that'll be one that people will be excited for. But the rest of this stuff, nobody cares. I want to see Deshaun Watson, was your question? Yes, I need to see him out there playing. I need to see DW4, spray him up with some DW40, get that rust off his ass, and get him out there and get some reps. He's got to see some live game action. I don't care who's out there at left tackle because they're probably going to throw quick throws anyways, but he needs some game reps. He needs some of that live action. So just get him out there, get some work, and then be done with it. And that's any starter too, but I think it's especially important for Deshaun.
I also think that there's so many questions that we're just not going to know the answers until they play. So we can have a 5-hour conversation about Deshaun and Amari, how is he? After all the rumors, were they true? Was it smoke and mirrors? How's he gonna how's he gonna play this season? The left tackle situation. In the we haven't seen any starters. We haven't really seen any starters. So you could do a 5-hour episode on how are the Browns going to be. You know what? We'll find out. We're gonna know soon enough. And I think that's where the preseason is. I mean, it sucks because when there used to be 4 preseason games not too long ago, what was that, 2-3 years ago? That third preseason game was where your starters would play the first half. So you got a first half of actual football. You can kind of see where the team was in a sense, but now it's, no one wants to play the preseason. And, then like James said, with, you're trying to shake off rust and you don't know who, the left tackle situation and, all the questions that everyone has, we're not going to know the answer until the start of the regular season. So that's when I'm going to be excited. That first snap of the regular season is going to hit. It's going to hit hard, and we'll get all of our answers then.
Yes, but it's my opinion on the left tackle situation, and this is something I wanted them to do in the offseason. What was the logical choice for me would be to move DeJuan Jones to left tackle. It's a guy who played his whole career at Ohio State at left tackle, did not allow a sack while at Ohio State, and just played it a couple years ago. You put him at left tackle and Jack Conklin at right tackle.
Was he a left tackle? I thought he was a right tackle at Ohio State.
No, he was a left tackle.
I'm looking that up. I don't know if I trust you on that.
Fact check.
Don't matter if he's left or right. That's where he needs to be at right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not as easy as people think to make that switch from right to left. When for 4 years you're kicking that right leg back first because you're a right tackle, it's muscle memory. So, and if that's what if that's what you've been doing for so long, it's to try and reteach yourself that. And at the highest of levels against the best athletes in the world, it's not that easy of a switch. I can tell you firsthand.
I've heard people say put Conklin there. He played in college. Well, yeah, that was at Michigan State how many years ago? He hasn't played left tackle since. And they already tried the Batonio experience. That didn't go very well. So I don't know. It's something they're gonna have to figure out. I mean, it's an important position. Obviously, it's Deshaun's blind side, and with the injury history, we can't have that. So I'm interested to see what they do there.
Jones would emerge as the starter in 2021, starting every game at right tackle for the Buckeyes.
I thought he played left tackle. No,
that left tackle wasn't that? I thought that was who else was it? He was a first round pick.
Yeah, I don't remember. All right, I was wrong. There's a first time for everything. It's okay.
No, we can edit that out later, Kevin.
It's one of my great joys in life to prove Kevin wrong.
Well, that's our show tonight, guys.
Joey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, Joey. Appreciate it.
It was when was Jones drafted? 23?
Yeah, last year.
He was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was in the class with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Okay. So yeah, so the left tackle was Paris Johnson.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it mixed up. My bad. All right. So looking at the roster, the projected starting lineup, your wide receivers, you got Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, obviously Deshaun Watson. Quarterback position, offensive line, if healthy, Jed Wills, Joe Batonio, Ethan Posich, Wyatt Teller, and Jack Conklin. David Njoku at tight end, and running back is not going to be Nick Chubb, but he will be eventually. I'm assuming it'll be a combination of Jerome Ford and Dante Foreman How you guys feeling offensively? Any concerns? What are you looking forward to most about the offense for the Browns this year? Start with you, Derek.
I think if the wide receivers play up to what they are on paper, which doesn't always work out, but I think it'll be the most exciting wide receiver room that the Browns have had since returning in '99. I'm excited to see Jerry Jeudy. I think he's that guy that can be shifty that they've missed. Elijah Moore with a little less of the onus on him. Hopefully he shines a little brighter. And I mean, it's a contract year for Amari Cooper. He can boohoo about being in trade rumors, but that is what it is at this point. So, kind of put up, shut up, and play ball. And I think he will. He's a veteran. He's been through the contract stuff with when he was down in Dallas, and but it'll be interesting to see what they do at the running back position. They seem to like Pierre Strong, but I agree with you. I think I'd like to see Ford more. But yeah, offensive line, they can stay healthy. Left tackle is the question mark, and Conklin's never healthy, so he's listed as the starter. But seeing what DeJuan Jones did last year, that gives you some hope. And Njoku, kind of group him in with the wide receivers because he can do what a lot of receivers can with some of his catches over the middle and stuff. So, yeah, excited to see the offense, and it all rests on the shoulders of Deshaun. So, if he can put the ball where it needs to be, then yeah, it'll be fun.
Derek, I think your wide receiver room's calling you.
Vance, you were shaking your head down there, so I gotta let you go next.
I mean, the funny thing is Derek is right. This is probably the most exciting wide receiver room we have, and there's only one proven guy in it. So like that's the messed up part. Like, I mean, we don't know what Jeudy is. If they try, I swear on everything. If they try and use Elijah Moore like he's damn Tyreek Hill again this year, I'm gonna lose my mind. He's not Tyreek Hill. He's a slot receiver. He does not have Tyreek's speed. He does not have his cutback. He has nothing. But he is right. I mean, on paper, maybe not the most exciting, but the most name brand wide receiver group I think that we've had since we've been back. I am interested to see how Amari is going to play, quite frankly. We kind of discussed this. I was not a big trade for Ayuk fan. Just to me, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. We kind of discussed this in our thread. The Browns have made exactly one good wide receiver acquisition, I think, in my lifetime, quite frankly, at least since '99, and that's Cooper. If you look at the wide receivers they've drafted since '99, it rivals the quarterback for how shit they are. Let's be honest. So we got danger zone going on. What is happening
Top
right
gun.
now?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Baker Mayfield at your house?
Oh my god. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I
Mayfield
guess if
closes.
there's anything I'm excited to see is I guess you said what? Oh, we lost
What?
Derek. I'm excited to see John Watson and whatever this offense is going to be. Period. I need to see whatever the hell this offense is supposed to be. Again, it's going to take a second because these dudes ain't playing, but I just want to see how this offense gels, and this is before Chubb gets back. And I am hopefully we're going to see a lot of my guy Pierre Strong.
And James, what are your thoughts on the offense?
I don't know if I want to share my thoughts, to be honest with you. I would say Jamari Thrash. I like what I've heard, what's been reported. I like what I heard during the preseason game where Steve Smith Sr. said he was elite at his the route tree as far as the way he runs routes. Gives him a lot of credit for that. So at least on film, he looks good. I like that he's wearing number 80, an actual wide receiver jersey. So I'm a little bit excited to see what he's got. Tillman, some good reports for him as well. So I'd like to see how these guys, how Thrash is going to contribute, but how also Tillman's going to get better numbers and more receptions and more targets than last year. Jerry Judy, I mean, I think back, speaking of Steve Smith, didn't Steve Smith give him an earful last year on the sideline when he was there in Denver to do a game? So he doesn't really have Smith. I mean, not that Smith is the Cleveland Browns in their draft room that we need to get his blessing to draft a guy, but Jerry Judy just concerns me because Denver unloaded with him and don't need him. And who's his coach? A Super Bowl winning Sean Payton that's been around, some really good players. So for them to just let him go and cut their loss on him, do you really think this is one man's trash is another man's treasure with Jerry Judy? I don't know. He's either going to play like Alabama Judy or he's going to play like Judy Jetson. And I don't know which one's going to show up. And it's not going to really matter because he did get his extension. Amari Cooper, got to give him respect for what he's did the last 2 seasons. The first Browns wide receiver to go back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving yards. Showed a lot of good connections with Flacco towards the end of the season, which I know Joe really meshed well with Njoku as well. But as far as Amari goes, with his age, I'm just concerned, is he going to be able to make it through the entire season healthy? When is he going to miss games? I got a feeling it's not if, it's when he's going to miss a few games. But just know that when he's out there, we know the consistency that the guy brings and the professionalism. So as far as the wide receiver room goes, like I said, I think there's potential there. But gosh, damn, we've had so much change with Tommy Reese, the tight ends coach. You got Dorsey doing offensive coordinator now. Stefanski still calling plays. We brought in, and I'm probably jumping the gun on this, but Jameis Winston is our backup. I love Jameis because I'm a Florida State fan. But by God, like for as many turnovers as we had last year, I mean, Jameis can be a walking turnover machine. So how we're going to control and take care of the football this year is, to me, key, and Deshaun Watson and how he performs week to week.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do something that I don't almost ever do, which is be short and sweet because my computer's actually about to die and I don't have the charger right now. Yeah, I know it's been a weird day. Watson, got to see him play. He can't. Yeah, he's got to be the Watson of old. If he's not, worst signing of all time. And I think that it's heading that way unless he turns it around this year. Njoku's got to stop dropping balls. Great tight end, but top 6. It was top 10 for sure. I think it was number 6 in drop passes last year, and that was among tight ends and wide receivers. So when he gets the ball, man, he's hard to bring down, but got to catch the ball a little bit more, which has been a running problem with him for a long time as well. Amari Cooper, nothing bad to say. Love Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore, I like to see them use him more like a Julian Edelman than anything else. He's a slot guy. He's the guy that's going to, you get, 5 to 7 yard pass, and maybe he can stretch it into 10, 13, maybe down the field. Who knows? That's where they need to keep more. He's got to be he's got to be someone that you can, loud noises. He's got to be able to go all over the field and give Watson an out. If if the play's not open. And Jerry Judy, I think we all know what his ceiling is. Is he going to reach that ceiling? And I think is the biggest question. And you said is one man's trash another man's treasure. Sometimes, yeah. I think you put him with someone like Amari Cooper, someone who he is very much like in a lot of ways, and I think that he's going to learn. And I mean, that Denver team that he was on was so dysfunctional for pretty much his entire career. I think coming somewhere with that, and I don't even want to say it's like a knock on wood. That's maybe a little bit more stable because I didn't think we'd get here with the Browns. It only took 25 years. But maybe being somewhere where there's other weapons. He's not the number one or he's not the number one guy or looked to be the number one guy. There's other options than him. And he had that in Denver with Cortland Sutton, but I think that it rings a little bit more here in Cleveland. So I think that his ceiling is extremely high. But like you said, is he going to be Jerry Judy or what did you say, Judy Jetson?
Judy Jetson.
Mm-hmm. That made me angry. I didn't like that at all. Running back. I'm not real thrilled about the running back room, if I'm being honest. I like Pierre Strong. I think Ford had an okay season last year, but it was on the backs of good offensive linemen. I do really like the Dante Foreman pickup. We'll see what happens there, but I'm really just counting down the days till Batman comes back, and hopefully, he comes back and is somewhat like he was before he left, which that is a big ask after what happened. But I think that hopefully it's going to be running back by committee, and this offense is going to have to put up. They have to put up points. And that's our defense can.
I think his laptop just died.
Can you screenshot that and put that on a T-shirt?
Yeah, there's our new shirts.
Came in late, leaving early. God damn.
Yeah, he just texted me.
No
said
kidding.
Computer died. All right, so my thoughts. Clarence, there's one you're not going to like, but I'll save that for last.
We're just going to leave him there the rest of the show. I think we do. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Jerry Judy's going to benefit from being in a better situation, like Joey said. I think ability-wise, he has that number one ability. Oh, there he goes. He dropped off. I think he's got the ability to be a number one down the road, and I think that's what the Browns' best case scenario are hoping for, because Cooper's not going to be here beyond this year. They already tried to work out the long-term deal, couldn't make it work. Got the 1 year deal done. So I think they're hoping he can be that new number one down the road, and maybe Tillman steps up. He also has the ability, showed a little bit of flashes last year. Jabari Thrash. I told Derek that he reminds me of an Anthony Schwartz who can actually catch and run routes.
I hope Clarence. I hope he didn't hear that.
I don't know. He looked like he froze up.
Yeah, everything froze up. What did you say? Something bad about who?
Oh, nothing. He was talking about Darren Cheverini.
You want me to repeat it? Man, we're having all kind of technical difficulties.
Oh man, don't tell me. Joey brought a virus into the live show tonight.
I know, I think so.
Now Clarence got it.
Man, we can't play the schedule game with just two of us.
Damn. Put Clarence on the board now. He's paralyzed.
That's his new laptop too. He was
That's
all excited
right.
about it.
And I'm sure he plugged it in. Man, this better not be, I tell you what, that's one thing I want to say. It better not be foreshadowing for what the season's going to be like for the Browns, because I sure as hell don't want to go back in the basement. Wait a minute.
What's better than one, Clarence? Two.
No kidding. Now we got.
I jumped off the new laptop.
There we
So
go.
Oh my gosh, that was like when $1 Million Man had paid and had 2 referees that were the same, and Andre won the heavyweight championship. I mean, oh my goodness. There's 2 Earl Hebners.
yeah. Weather's getting kind of shaky out here, so I think it's messing with the internet connection. So we jumped off that.
So what I was saying is I told Derek that Jabari Thrash reminds me of an Anthony Schwartz who can catch and run routes.
Oh, but he's not a track guy. He's no track guy. He might be able to run some routes. He might be able to catch, which is required, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, those are 2 pretty important things.
Yeah.
Considering there's no track at Cleveland Brown Stadium.
But he ain't blowing nobody out downfield. I will say I am kind of excited to see if the Browns can finally get it right at wide receiver via the draft, because as I was saying before, the reason why they've had to go out and get a Judy and Elijah Moore is because we keep swinging and missing on the draft. Maybe Thrash is it. I'm hoping so, but I'm not banking on it just because, like I said, they just haven't hit on any wide receiver since they've been back, period. That's lasted more than a season. You had Braylon that had one good year, then pooped the bed. Josh Gordon had an all-world year with bums thrown to him, and he has not been the same since. They wasted 2 draft picks in the second round the one year by drafting Brian Robisky and Muhammad Massaquoi.
Oh,
Neither one of them dudes panned out. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have not gotten it right since '99.
Dude, I think my cousin bought a Massaquoi jersey.
Why?
Only because he wore 11 in high school.
Okay.
So there was the one that Massaquoi wore at the field, and then my cousin's jersey, and that was about it.
Thrash might be the hope, because, like I said, since they've come back, it's just been, as I said earlier, the list of wide receivers that have not panned out here rivals, or I think it's worse than the list of quarterbacks. And the quarterback list is bad. Let's just be honest. But I mean, the amount of resources that they've spent since '99 trying to find a guy who consistently is good, not 1 year flash in the pan. I'm talking a guy who's got, just back-to-back good seasons. I'd take that right now from any wide receiver they have. But outside of Coop, that there is nobody. So
yeah, but that's my question for you guys. When we traded for Jarvis Landry and OBJ for Baker, so what's the deal? Does the quarterback make the wide receivers, or do the wide receivers make the quarterback? Majority of the time. I know there's no simple, it's this exactly or that exactly. But where you guys stand? I'm about the quarterback, a great quarterback, making the receivers.
Yeah, I agree. Unless you've got a Kelvin Johnson, somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, a one's a one, right? They're going to do their thing. But when you can, a great quarterback's going to take your twos, your threes, and your fours and lift them up. You know what I mean? What would Julian Edelman did? What would he have done anywhere else?
Right.
True.
You know what I mean?
A lot of those guys Brady had.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a perfect situation for him.
Well, you saw what happened when Brady got Randy Moss. They destroyed all the records. Right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
which is good. It kind of brings me back to the whole Ayuk thing. Everybody's acting like, and I tweeted this. A few people kind of said something to me, but I'm just like, why are we acting like Ayuk was prime Randy Moss? We don't know if it's the system or if he's actually that good. Because if you're playing with Debo, who's, an all-around gadget guy, you're playing with Kittle. You've got McCaffrey in the backfield. That's probably going to open up some things for you, as opposed to, you're playing with, and this is no disrespect to our guys, but Njoku, great guy, really good tight end. He's not George Kittle yet. Obviously, we're going to do running back by committee, and none of them guys are McCaffrey. And, we got Coop. So I don't know. I'm very. I feel like the quarterback can make the wide receiver, but a true one, like they go and they ball out and they play wherever. Amari's done it wherever he's been at. Wherever he's been at, he's played well. So I don't want to lose him, but I am. He's going to be a huge key to this season for the Browns. Absolutely.
I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I think it was this past week. There was a prominent NFL executive, no name listed, obviously, but he said that the Browns dodged a huge bullet by not getting Ayuk because he's simply just not that good for what he's asking for. $30+ million.
Yeah.
That was the Steelers probably because they want to trade for him later.
He was going. It was on the goal line. The deal almost done. 3-4 times already.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going anywhere. He's re-signing with the 49ers and staying there.
Good.
See, you said Njoku is not George Kittle yet. What if you switch teams? Switch those guys, trade them up. I think Njoku's numbers go up.
I can see
Kittle's
that.
come down.
I can see that just because of the scheme. I feel like what's going on in San Francisco is a scheme thing where they're taking guys like a Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, wherever he was drafted at, and this guy is now a damn all-pro quarterback. Is he that somewhere else? I don't know. You don't see too many late round QBs that come and do what he did. I feel like it's a big scheme thing over there. I really do, and I don't trust any player coming from them. Sorry.
That's fair.
You guys, you ready to play the schedule game?
Oh God,
James.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, starting off week 1, Dallas Cowboys. Tom Brady on the call, Fox. we're gonna since this is James' favorite game, we're gonna start with him.
Freaking time! You might as well put Deshaun in the booth and put Brady down on the field. And I'd feel about that. I'd feel a hell of a lot better about the. We're 1.5 point favorites, I believe, right now. How the hell they come up with that? But whatever. Vegas is Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Being at home, being week 1, we should be nervous because our history of week 1 victories and how rare they can be. And Dallas coming off a good season, but being in Cleveland. The way we played at home last year, if there's anything that we can lean on, it's our fans. They don't slump at home, especially not last year. Showed up every week. They'll have the defense going. And I think we'll be able to pull that victory out. I'm not giving you a score because Deshaun Watson's our quarterback. So I don't know what the hell how many points we're going to score. Is it going to be a 17-10? Like when we had our 4th string quarterback, I have no idea. I just need Deshaun to play good, right? Just give me good at home, good, and our defense shows up. We get the victory. We start out 1-0.
Clarence, I gotta write these down.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
You can go back and watch it later.
I'm torn on this because. The same reason I was torn at the beginning of last season, and the same reason I was torn week 11 of the season before that. We don't know what the hell Deshaun Watson is yet. Like, we have no idea. We know defense. We know our defense plays well at home. We know that for sure. We know that they can probably do a pretty solid job of at least making it difficult for Dallas to score. But the lack of Watson reps and him playing since, middle of last year, no Chubb. I don't like our chances. I'll be there. I just bought my tickets yesterday. Unfortunately, spent a whole lot of money that I didn't want to. But I don't like our chances. I don't. Close.
You going with a loss?
Yeah, we're losing. I hate to say it, but I just unless this offense that we've been hearing about for the last 2 seasons that's been revamped 2 times in the last 2 seasons comes out and is special, like they like to say, it's gonna be special, man. All right, show me. I want them to win, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Fair enough. Yeah,
We got to
I'm a
keep
little
them under
nervous.
20.
I'm a little nervous about the continuity with some of the newer guys, with Watson coming back after missing a bunch of weeks last year, not playing in the preseason. We'll see if he plays against Seattle or not. But Dallas also has their issues. You never know what you're going to get out of Prescott. You got the CD Lamb drama going on. Jerry Jones doesn't want to pay him. He supposedly wants out. So I'm going to go with the Browns in a close game. I'm not going to give a score, but I'll give us the win, the home field advantage, and the Browns. The fans will be pumped up, ready to go. Hopefully Watson will be too, but we'll go with a win in a close contest.
It's 4 p.m. start. I'm gonna be rare form at that point.
All right, we go to week 2, Sunday the 15th, 1:00 start. Traveling down to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. James.
The Jaguars are owned by the same family that owns AEW Wrestling. AEW Wrestling is struggling right now, so I got the Browns.
It's short and sweet.
So hellified logic you're using there. I just don't. I like the players they have down there in Jacksonville, but I just don't think that they're gonna beat us. I think by week 2, after Watson gets that first week under his belt, I think they'll look a lot better in week 2, and they come out with the W there.
I agree. I think they'll get things going that week 2 game, the warm weather in Jacksonville, and beat up on Sunshine. I'm going with the win there as well.
Plus, I think we play well in Florida, right? I think we got a pretty good record in the state of Florida.
I'll take that.
Week 3, they're back home to face the New York Giants. 1:00 start. Mr. Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones sucks, and when he sucks and Deshaun plays good, we have a chance. The Giants didn't keep Barkley, and Barkley went to Philly. Not Charles, but Saquon. I got the Browns, and now they're starting 3-0 to start the season.
The Giants are doo-doo, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the Browns as well. We're going 2-1.
Yeah, it's wins across the board. I love their new rookie receiver, Malik Neighbors, but got to have someone to get him the ball, and that's not Daniel Jones. 3-0 start for the Browns for me as well.
You guys are smoking that good shit.
Hey, trying to be optimistic.
Just play along, will you? Just play along.
So it brings us
It is
to
legal now, though, right?
That's
right. Yeah. Week 4, the Browns travel out to Las Vegas to that beautiful stadium to take on the Raiders and new starting quarterback Gardner Minshew, who seems to always play well against us. So, James, your thoughts on the Raiders?
Road game on the West Coast. Well, not West Coast, but Pacific time zone. I think the Browns go to the Celine Dion show, stay up too late, show up groggy, and they lose 43-42. Because we love to give up points on the road.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I like the Browns in this game. I just don't feel like the Raiders, and unless it's the Vegas nightlife we know is undefeated. As long as they avoid that, I think they're fine. I think they can be sitting at 3-1 after that game. But you're right. Minshew does give us problems. He gave us problems last year when he played for the Colts. So, but I still like our chances in that. I just don't think there's enough around him.
Yeah, I don't like the Raiders either, but like you said, Minshew plays well against us, and we got him last year somehow with PJ Walker at quarterback. But I think this is going to be the first surprising, disappointing loss. I think Minshew gets his revenge and beats the Browns in a close game.
So y'all think they're gonna beat Dallas, but lose the punk ass Vegas Raiders?
All we got to do is look back at last year's schedule.
The defense.
There are games that we
True.
lost that were like, what the hell? And there's
Defense
games that
didn't
we
show up on
won
the
that were
road.
like, what the hell?
Yeah, defense.
I mean,
Yeah, defense didn't travel last year. You're 100% right about that.
All right, game 2 of a 3-game road trip. Week 5 takes them to Washington to face the Commanders and new rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. James.
this is the bowl of the battle of the most boring uniforms in the history of pro football. They need to do something. Will anybody score? Will anybody stay tuned into this game? Rookie quarterback. Can we get it back together? Back to back. Let's see. Back to back road weeks with another game at Philly the following week. I think they come in desperate and somehow squeak this one out. The hell with the score. They'll squeak this one out. So we'll be what, 4-1.
I tend to agree. Like I can't really think of any reason why I think the Commanders, again with the rookie quarterback, I'd like to think Schwartz puts the voodoo hex on him, shuts him down, and they win that game. So we're sitting at 4-1.
Yeah, I think if they come into this game undefeated, maybe they overlook Washington a little bit. But as far as I'm my prediction coming off a disappointing loss in Las Vegas, I think they're going to come in Washington pissed off and lay it on them and get a big win heading into a big Week 6 showdown. And that Week 6 showdown is with the Philadelphia Eagles and their new running back, Saquon Barkley, and all the other weapons they have. Go ahead with this prediction.
Well, there's still plenty of energy in that stadium left over from WrestleMania 40. That's going to help energize the Eagles. Coming off Washington being not as good of a team in the NFC East, Eagles are going to be primed to have a better season this year after they fell off at the end of last year. We take the loss in the city of brotherly love.
Brandon thinks Washington will be better than Dallas.
Good God, that sounds like – who's that sound? That sounds like Paul and the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah. Pretty similar.
No.
That sounds like an Eagles. That sounds like an Eagles fan who hates the Cowboys. That's what that sounds like. That's what that sounds like. Eagles are going to get the Browns. I feel like with the addition of Saquon, and Kev, like you said, all the other weapons they have, like they got the wide receivers I would love here in Cleveland, but and we've got Chubb, but hey, wouldn't mind having Saquon as well. But I see the Eagles getting by the Browns because they're not going to go undefeated and they're going to have some slip ups. So I feel like that's a game that they're going to lose.
I agree. I think there's just too many weapons on the Eagles, and again, I'm going off of how the defense played on the road last year. I'm hoping that's going to improve. It's got to improve for them to have a good season. But I think the Eagles are going to be too much. So I agree with you guys on an L for Week 6. All right, so Week 7, back home on Sunday the 20th at 1 o'clock to face the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, last year we started out Week 1 with Cincinnati with a one-legged Joe Burrow. If there's a two-legged Joe Burrow and he's playing like Joe Burrow does, It's going to be a tough one because the last week of the season, I don't know what that was in Cincinnati. That felt like a preseason game, us resting starters before the playoffs, and Cincinnati just trying to finish their season and finish strong. Still, I'm going to give us the edge at home, being a must-win division game. I'm going to take us over Cincinnati on that one.
We own Joey Burrow's ass. Browns win.
I agree. we seem to have Cincy's number, Joe Burrow's number, and we're gonna shut down him and his M&M hair. Did you say loss, James?
No, we edged that one.
Okay. All right. So week 8, back home again against another division rival on October 27th, 1 o'clock start against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
If Lamar's there, does he make it this far? Is he healthy enough to make it this far? We'll find out. Same with Deshaun. Do we have a battle of backup quarterbacks here, and we're talking defense on both sides of the ball? Are we talking Derrick Henry running the ball at Cleveland Brown Stadium, which we were able to stuff him pretty well with the Titans last year? This could be an ugly game. I don't know. You got last year's MVP Lamar Jackson and Deshaun. We're hoping that he plays good, and we hope that he's healthy still at this point in the season. We talked about having Burrow's number, and I know Deshaun got Lamar last year, even though he played a bad game for a majority of the game at Baltimore, and it was able to pull through in the fourth quarter. I'm going to give the Ravens this victory.
This is the turning point game for me. I feel like this was a turning point last year for where we thought that we were going to take off. Watson had that crazy ass second half. You can say what you want about, he didn't throw the ball deep, whatever, but Browns won the game. And then we were all happy. And then we got the news Monday morning, I think, that he was done for the year. I think the Browns win this game. I like us at home against Baltimore. Again, because we're at home, I know the defense is going to play well. I'm hoping that, we don't see the normal what we always see, which is Mark Andrews' ass somehow wide open downfield after Lamar scrambles for 7 seconds. He finds Andrews wide open downfield. But
damn straight on that.
Man, it's just it's every damn game that they play us. Like he scrambles for a little bit, and all of a sudden, deep throw. Mark Andrews' ass wide open in the middle of the field, sideline, wherever he may be, he's wide open. But I like our chances in this game. Browns win. Browns, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and write this one down too, Kev. Browns win by two touchdowns. What?
Got it. I'm giving.
I'm afraid to watch. Man, am I afraid to watch this back even 4 weeks into the season.
It's going to be bad.
Let alone end of October.
I'm giving them the win as well at home. Like you said, last year's game, Deshaun turned it on in that second half and looked like he was really turning the corner. And, then we obviously got the injury news. But, this will be week 8. He should be well in a groove. And and being at home, I think they're going to take this one, like you said, as long as we can not leave Andrews wide open. All right, that takes us to week 9. At home, we have the Los Angeles Chargers and Mr. Harbaugh coming to town.
That's right. Jim Harbaugh comes back to Cleveland Stadium. It's him versus Kevin Stefanski. Who can outcoach each other? It's back-to-back Harbaugh weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We got John Harbaugh coming in for the Ravens, and then now another Harbaugh. And I had the Ravens edging them out. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, show me your lightning bolt. I'm going to say that John Harbaugh left all the secrets on how he beat the Browns in that visiting locker room, and Jim's just going to look up under the seat, grab that book, and somehow the Chargers pull this off and win at Brown Stadium. Now we're struggling. We've lost 2 in a row at home. Doesn't that feel right though? Doesn't that feel more normal than what we normally predict and what we want?
We're trying to get away from normal.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know who he's going to be throwing the ball to since they pretty much offloaded most of their wide receivers, who Herbert's going to be throwing to. But I feel like the Chargers, they're not going to lose to us that often anymore. The only reason why we didn't go 0-32 is because Jamie Meter's big hand blocking a field goal against them, which saved us. We went 1-15 that year. I feel like the Chargers, they're just not going to let us have that any longer. So somehow I think the Chargers are going to pull one out because I can't keep having the Browns win all these games. That's just not going to happen that way.
Well, screw you guys. I'm going with the win. Herbert's coming off kind of a disappointing season. Like you said, he lost all of his receivers, and the guys that they're replacing him with are very underwhelming. Harbaugh is a run-first coach. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman is a run-first coach, and Herbert is their best weapon. So I think, and given we're playing at home where the defense plays a lot better for whatever reason, I think we get the win in this one. Man, am I being optimistic?
Man, you got me down as we just got Stefanski got beat by back-to-back Harbaugh brothers. And now Browns fans are on this radio. It is butthole puckering time. It's fire Kevin Stefanski time. That's where we're going to be at going into the bye. Doesn't that feel right? Doesn't that feel normal? That's, I think, where we're going to be. We're going to hear Coach of the Year, my ass.
Week 10, we got the bye. They come back week 11, November 17th, 1 o'clock start at New Orleans. James.
Well, playing at New Orleans is what there's one time of the year I'd really like to see that, and that would be in February, because that's where the Super Bowl's at this year. So you come off the bye, you just got beat back to back at home. Now you're traveled to New Orleans. There's something in that gumbo down there. They come off the bye and get the victory in New Orleans to prepare potentially for the greatest second half in Cleveland Browns history.
I think if there's a guaranteed W this year, I think it's Saints. I just think they're not very good. I'd like to think that that's an easy win. I shouldn't say easy win, but I feel like if you look at this schedule, it's a lot tougher than last year. I feel like that's one of the reprieve games.
Should they win this game? Yes. Will they? No. I think they stumble hungover out of the bye, looking ahead to the following week and their big rival game at home. And I think they trip up and lose in New Orleans.
Come on. We got Jameis, and they don't anymore.
Unless Jameis plays, it could be a Jameis.
There you go. Now we're talking.
All right, so that takes us to Week 12, where the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town on November 21st. What say you, James?
It's a very short week, too, a Thursday night game. And, we build off the momentum of the Saints game, feeling like it's Ohio State versus Akron when we go down to New Orleans because we have that big victory down there. And we're going to take it to Pittsburgh at home. That's going to be probably the best game of the season for us up to that point. And we're going to need to show it based on what's coming down the schedule.
They're going to beat the brakes off the Steelers. let me just say it. That game, they're going to beat the brakes off the Steelers because they owe it to me for that, me going out to Pittsburgh last year and watching the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. So right here, they bust that ass. Steelers still don't have a quarterback. Am I worried that Fields could turn into something for them? Absolutely, but I'm not. I feel like they're going to beat the Steelers. We know it's a Mike Tomlin coach team, so it's going to be close. He doesn't let them. Doesn't let them get whooped too badly. But Browns win that game. I would say game is over by early fourth quarter, and we're just kind of coasting on the way.
Clarence, I know
agree
you
with
said they
Clarence.
don't have a quarterback, but don't forget, Duck freaking Hodges beat us. The guy's first name is Duck, and we
I
got
know.
beat by him.
Why do you got to bring this
They
stuff
have
up?
Russell Wilson,
No.
who beat us last year with what Joey said was basically a scrub Broncos team, and his
Why are you
ass
bringing up-
still beat us.
why are
Then
you
we
bringing
had
up
the
old
Bears. We had the Bears in our stadium. Me and you, we're live with Brown and Orange Weekly, and we got
I'm
our
muting
live
you.
reaction with Fields through that ball in the end zone. We about shit ourselves because that guy almost caught the ball. So I feel good about getting that win on the short week, but yikes. Sometimes it don't matter with the damn Steelers who's at quarterback against us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going big win as well. That's all I'll say. Big
That's
win.
it. That's all you got for the Steelers? It's the Steelers.
They've got no quarterback. Wilson and Fields have looked terrible in training camp and preseason so far. And I'm like, I agree with Clarence. If one of those two can put it together, it's going to be Fields. And I was pissed off when they were the ones that acquired him because I still love Justin Fields, and I still think he can be a very good quarterback. So I'm just hoping it's not in Pittsburgh.
See, I feel we're generally sucking on purpose right now. And maybe Pittsburgh is naturally sucking right now. I hope that's the case. I hope it's not the other way around. Where Pittsburgh's, playing like they're so bad, and then all of a sudden, week one, they start tearing it up. But nothing worse than losing to the Steelers. Let's just say that.
100%.
There's nothing worse than losing to Pittsburgh. Better
That's right.
goddamn beat them.
All right, week 13, they head out to Mile High to face the Denver Broncos.
It's Denver. It's the beginning of December. It's also the week between playing Pittsburgh again because we play Pittsburgh the following week. So we go out to Denver. It's probably going to be snowing. We know we got to go to Pittsburgh the following week. Sean Payton's got Bo Nix playing pretty well. I know it's preseason, right? But we lost that last year there, and there's potential for this team to be better. At least Sean Payton's going to believe that. So, is this the Jerry Jeudy game where he goes back, scores 2 touchdowns, goes over 100 yards? I don't know, but they're definitely going to be targeting him. I think even just on the defensive side, they're going to try to shut him down. So, I still think we lose a close one because it's once again at Denver.
I'll tell you what. I will be in attendance at this game. Tickets have been procured. Flight is done. I will be in Denver for this game. So they're going to win because I ain't going halfway across the damn country to watch a loss. Nope.
And you can also smoke something there.
I mean, the Brown Stadium was no different last year, man. It was just a constant haze in Brown Stadium. I'm sure it's twice as bad in Denver. But, yeah, I will be there, and the Browns are going to win that game.
I agree. I'm taking the win. It's the Broncos. They're rebuilding. Browns all the way in that one.
They're going to be desperate, that's for sure.
Then week 14, we're in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Twice in 3 weeks. How you feeling, James?
Not good. I think by that point, maybe Paul Skeens is out there playing quarterback for the Steelers. Since the Pirates, it's their off season because the guy's got a freaking rocket arm. It's in Pittsburgh. I'm not, my biggest concern is this is the death stretch right here. At Pittsburgh, home against Kansas City, at Cincinnati, home against the Dolphins, and at the Ravens. Buckle the hell up because that is just a gauntlet of a hell of a lot of bad, tough, ridiculous. We better have Deshaun playing good at that point. We better have Chubb back. With all that being said, we're at Pittsburgh. The defense scores 2 touchdowns, and we sneak it out with a Dustin Hopkins field goal for the win.
Pittsburgh wins. Let's keep going. Pittsburgh wins. Let's go.
I thought about doing that. I'm like, no.
Let's go. Pittsburgh wins. Let's go. Coach, next game.
Pittsburgh wins. Next game is a big showdown at home, Week 15, against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who we playing? Kansas City. They won the Super Bowl last year, right? And they've won a Super Bowl even before that, right? And they got Travis Kelce. And they got Patrick Mahomes. And we don't. I got the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm in agreement of giving the Browns their first home loss.
Yeah,
Two in a row for me. Yeah.
There'll be more Taylor Swift shots in the box than there will be points scored by the Browns.
Yowza.
Yeah, Week 16 at Cincinnati.
Joey B gets his revenge, and we take an L back to back. Actually, yeah, because I said we won in Pittsburgh, so back-to-back losses to the Chiefs and Bengals. Yep, sounds about right.
I said what I said. We own Joey B's ass. Browns wins.
I agree 100% right there with Clarence. Another win in Cincinnati. All right, Week 17 at home against the Miami Dolphins.
We freeze the fish like a box of Vandy Camps. Being December 29th. Browns win at home. I don't know who the hell the quarterback is at that point, but I sure as hell hope it's Deshaun Watson.
Could be DTR at that point.
No. Oh, because we got him back in a trade or something? He may not even be on the team.
I agree. I like the Browns in this. It's too cold up here. They can't turn it into a track meet when they're going to be on ice and snow. So Browns win that game.
I'm taking the Browns as well. Weather will be a factor. And that takes us to the regular season finale at Baltimore.
At Baltimore. Where are we at in the standings, guys? Because really we want to talk about this year and whether or not we're going to break that streak of not winning the AFC North Division and never have won the AFC North Division. The last time we won the AFC Central Division was 1989, which I just read and saw that the Houston Oilers actually won the division in the AFC Central after the Browns won it in 1989. And the Oilers haven't played a game since the early, what was it, like 96? Did you
Stop
guys
bringing
see
up
that?
old shit.
That's right.
That's enough of that.
It's reality. Well, we won't have to worry about that when we build a freaking dome in Brook Park. So we can just leave all the old shit next to the Lake Erie and have a brand new spanking dome stadium with hotels and restaurants. With that, all that being said, I think we take the L at Baltimore and Let's go Cavs.
He's already mailing it in.
Right. Yeah. What? How many losses do I think I have them having at this point? 4. Steelers, Chiefs, 5.
You're at 11-5.
You know what? I think Baltimore gets this one. It's the toughest division of football, man. Like you're not going to go out there and sweep the division as much as I would like it. Like we're gonna sweep Cincinnati. You can write that shit down. We're gonna sweep Cincinnati. But I just the Steelers and the Ravens have been the pain in our asses. Ravens since their inception, and Steelers forever. So I think the Browns lose that game. So James, you can't watch the Cavs. You can't switch to the
Yeah,
Cavs.
my
yet.
guy Donovan. My guy Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, your guy.
Yeah, he's got this game's going to be my surprise win, signature road win to finish off the regular season with big momentum heading into the postseason. I'm going Browns.
So we win the division in Baltimore, the home of the former Baltimore Browns.
Oh, that would
we
be
finally break that streak.
All right, so that puts me at 12-5. Bit optimistic, but possible. Clarence at 11-6, and James at 9-8. Heads will roll if they're 9-8.
Well, I'll tell you what. After the Cardiac Kids season, the Browns went 5-11 the next season, and they didn't see it coming. And I honestly, guys, I'm just there. I think there's more questions than answers this year. I think the going to Greenbrier, for last year, the culture change that happened last year, the Stefanski winning Coach of the Year, Miles winning Defensive Player of the Year, all the wins at home, the defense playing well. There's got to be there's got to be some maturity on this team to play better on the road, because when you have out of your last 5 weeks 3 road games against your entire division, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, and then you got the Chiefs and Dolphins at home mixed in between all that.
That's tough.
It's just going to be one hell of a finish. We're going to have to be playing, and that's what you want. You want to be playing your best ball at the end of the season. But damn, that's a tough stretch for anybody. Now, of course, we're looking through this schedule, and this is why I think this is ridiculous anyways, because of all the injuries that happened throughout the NFL season.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows, right? We're just pulling stuff out of our ass just like anybody else. Any of the professionals on the NFL Network, they can do all the research they want. None of us Browns fans saw last year's story coming whatsoever. Nobody would have thought Joe Flacco was ever going to be a Cleveland Brown. Nobody thought Joe Flacco was going to play as well as he did as a Cleveland Brown, even though he got into the turnover category quite a bit too, like many of our other quarterbacks.
Yep.
So to me, the keys on this season, guys, it's turnovers on offense that has still been a problem. Hopefully Nick Chubb comes back and can help support at least good Deshaun Watson. And then the defense has to show up on the road. We can't give up over 30 points a game average on the road. We just can't. We're not like at home. We don't have I don't see the Jets at home this year. I don't see the freaking Cardinals at home this year. We're talking maybe, and Kevin, hell, you picked the Saints. We're trying to find games at Washington and possibly at the Saints that look like easy wins. But every Sunday, any given Sunday, what we're up against. Hell, last year, Houston went worst to first, and I think that I don't know how many years it's been in a row that there's been at least one team that's went worst to first to make the playoffs. So I don't know who it's going to be this year. I don't think it's going to be the Carolina Panthers. Cincinnati? Who was in the basement? Cincy? The Bengals were, right? And now they get Joe Burrow back. I mean, in our crazy ass tough division, who knows what's going to happen? But also having the quarterback healthy, Deshaun's got to play well. He's got to play well. He's got to be healthy. I can't remember what I heard. I don't know if you guys heard this. For the teams that I think there was about 8 teams that actually had their quarterback play all the starts last year, and I think 7 of the 8 made the playoffs. So that right there tells you, and our concerns we talked about earlier with the offensive line, and Deshaun being mobile and trying to create plays outside the pocket. That's a chemistry for potential for disaster right there. So I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be realistic. I want to be optimistic. I really, really do. I want to end that streak and win the division and get a home playoff game in our damn stadium before our new one. But I'm just going to stop because I've been waiting to get a lot of this out because I've been feeling this way for a while, and I don't think it's anything that's really happened preseason or training camp that's really stirred it too much or really. I've kind of had this feeling all along.
Clarence, your final thoughts?
I'm saying 11-6, but honestly, looking at that schedule, I'm fully between the schedule, us again not knowing what Watson is. We don't know where Chubb is at in his rehab. Our offensive line is shaky at best. At the tackle positions, I'm fully prepared for the Browns to have a regression this year. Like fully prepared. I'm hoping that it's more on my optimistic side, but I'm just going to be honest. Like, would I be shocked if these dudes lose 9 games? Nah, not really. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, that's how many question marks there are around what's going on with the Browns right now. We don't know who our quarterback is. Our running back, our all-world running back is hurt. Line is hurt. And our schedule is just so much tougher. So, the Browns losing 8 games, 9 games, I would not be shocked. But that's why this is August. Talk to me mid-September, beginning of October, and then we'll see where I'm at.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I think my 9-8's being optimistic too.
Yeah.
It's gonna depend on Deshaun's health. Obviously, I don't think we need him to be Houston Texans Deshaun Watson. I think if we can get 75 to 80% of that, would be great. Obviously, Nick Chubb coming back. Don't think he's going to be what he was before, but still better than what we have on the roster. And the offensive line, Jed Wills, whenever he comes back, he's got to play better. Or Watson's not going to stay healthy. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of factors. Defense playing better on the road this year, which I think they will. I think the defense is actually going to be pretty nasty this year. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing them maybe more than the offense at this point. But a lot of variables. I think can they get to 12 wins? Yes, it's going to take a lot, but I could also see them winning 9 games like James predicted. So we'll see.
And it
hopefully
could
it's
be
going
less.
to be a fun season. Yeah, could be less. Yeah,
and don't forget, every team that struggles this year, and you're looking at a potential coaching change, Bill Belichick's sitting out there. And I know he didn't get a job last year, but Browns fans don't care. Shit, they would have, when Osama bin Laden was alive, hell, they would have had, if he could have threw a hell of a lot better than all the quarterbacks on our quarterback jersey. That's what this fan base is. They don't care. They just want wins.
You heard it here first. When we have a bad season this year, it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady to the rescue.
And we're resurrecting Osama bin Laden as well. It looks like too. So
this we will put. I mean, hey, Jimmy Haslam's already telling you he's going to put whatever back there. So,
all right, I appreciate you guys jumping in. We started with 5, and thanks to you guys for hanging on and not dropping off.
Yeah, those training camp cuts, Derek and Joey. Thanks for joining us. Good luck on the next team. It's been a pleasure. Just don't forget to clean your lockers out.
Yeah. I appreciate you all tuning in this week for the Browns preview, and we will talk to you again next Monday.